Good afternoon, everybody. Roy T. Massey here with you this afternoon, coming from you today from Martins Ferry, Ohio, right here next to the state line of West Virginia. And it's a beautiful day here, fall-like weather. It's in the low 70s or maybe even in the 60s. It's just a beautiful weather. But I hope you're having a good day also. The last time we spoke, I told you that on the next YouTube video, I'd be talking to you about truck driving companies that will hire you and train you to get your CDL. Well, that's what I want to talk to you about. And before I get started, I want to thank everyone who's joined so far, all the new subscribers are following me. But I want to clarify one thing. I don't think I made mention last time, but there are a lot of women truck drivers out there, and women make great drivers. So I never did indicate whether men or women, but there are a lot of men and women truck drivers. But women make wonderful drivers, and I want to be clear about that. But today I want to talk to you about different companies that I have made a list for you. And when we get down through the list, then I'll give you my idea which ones I like the best and which ones. First company I want to talk to you about today is CR England. If you got a notepad, you might write some of these down. That's CR England. They have a 17-day, how long it takes to get their CDL in training. 17 days, and then you'll have your CDL. And they have multiple locations that you can train at. They have one in Richmond, Indiana. They have another one in Valparaiso, Indiana. Another one in South Holland, Illinois. And one in Ohio. I think it's Belpre, Ohio. They've got one in Georgia. Another one in Illinois, California, and Texas. And 17 days paid training while you're in class. And another one, KLLM. It's 22 days in training. They've also have multiple locations. They have one in Indiana, Mississippi, and Texas. Knight, KNIGHT, Knight Transportation. Headquarters out of Arizona. That's where I believe they do their school. Also another one here that I wrote down is PAM. They've got a long list of places they give their schools. Alabama, Arkansas, Delaware, Florida, Georgia, Indiana, Kansas, Kentucky, all over. Prime Inc. They've got one in Missouri, in Salt Lake City, Utah. PTL, Pasco Truck Lines, Murray, Kentucky. That's where their headquarters, and that's where they train you. Rail, their headquarters is in Wisconsin, but they also do classes in Chicago, Illinois. Swift, Phoenix, Arizona, Texas, California, Indiana, Tennessee, and Virginia. Warner, they've got locations in Indianapolis, Indiana, and in Nebraska. Now, Warner has a 3-week program, and so does Rail. Swift, I never did find out how long it takes theirs, but they're probably all going to be about the same length, except CR England. There's 17 days. And then XPO, they've got locations everywhere. All over Indiana, all over Ohio, all over Illinois, all over Wisconsin, all over Michigan. I mean, there's just too many to write them down, all the different cities. And then, now then, you're going to ask me which one of these do I like? Well, the ones I like, there's actually some companies on here I was telling you last week about after you get your CDL, you're going to maybe go work for another company. Well, there's actually a couple on here that if you went to, you might want to stay a while. They're decent companies. XPO is a good company, and so is Rail. I mean, those are good companies, and a lot, the very very best companies you got to have about 5 years experience. But these companies here, you can stay there, and then they're going to top out about 50, 55 cents a mile. But one thing I like about Rail, they'll pay you by the percentage. Anytime you get an opportunity, if they offer you by the mile or a percentage, take the percentage, because that's going to benefit you. And now you're saying, well, which ones do I? That's the two that I like, but it's going to depend on where you're at. If you're out in Seattle, Washington, you're going to need to try to find something as close to you as possible. I remember I went to truck driving school at PTL, and I remember while I was in Oregon, and the only reason I picked PTL because it was only 45 minutes from my house. That's the only reason. I thought, well, if I drove there, and I thought if I go there, and if I don't like it, I can get my truck and go home. So this one guy, he came from all the way from Washington on a Greyhound bus. Can you imagine how long it took him to ride a Greyhound bus? Well, what happens if you get there and you don't like it? You up and decide I don't know if they'll pay for your expense back. You need to find that out. But I've always said, let's find something close to home for your studies, to get your orientation, to get your CDL, and then go from there. But if Rail or XPO, if you can find one of them that's close by, that'd be good, even for up to 5 years. But call these different ones or Google them, find out where their cities are at, and look into it and find out how far it is from your place. And some of you email me or post on here where you're located, and I might find something for you. So I just want to give you this list. That's CR England, KLLM, Knight, PAM, Prime Inc., PTL, Rail, that's ROEHL, a good company, Swift, Warner, XPO, and next time we're going to talk to you about starting your, getting ready to do your permit and practicing for it and taking the test and everything, and what you're going to have to do after you get your permit, after you answer the questions on the test. And I've got a copy of the test. I'm going to post it, and you can take pictures of it. You'll have it. And then also, what you're going to have to do, you're going to do a pre-trip inspection, and you're going to have to memorize. It's a couple pages long, and you start at the front of the truck, go down the side, back the trailer, and then inside the cab. And I'm going to give you all of that. So that's what we'll be talking about next time. Getting ready for your, getting ready to take your test, so you can have your, not your CDL, but before that, when you get your permit, and getting ready to take your pre-trip and all that. So I hope this has been helpful. I'm Roy T. Massey. I'm a truck driver, and I'm a trucker's friend. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.